Achieving goals, and what are your true goals and objectives? You know, your objectives and goals to get the life that you want. I'm going to talk about some mindfulness meditation for healing, for whatever you're up against in this world, especially achieving your goals. And I'm going to discuss a little bit more about the gifts of the Holy Spirit. Hey everyone, James Nussbaumer, and thanks for joining me in another episode of For a Better Life podcast. It is November 4th, 2018, early Sunday morning. And by the way, if you're in the United States, I hope you set your clocks backward. I think it was 2 a.m. in the morning. Now the sun is coming up a little earlier. It was getting a little dark here. That hour really makes a difference this time of the year. So anyways, if you have not set your clocks backwards, remember it's fall backwards and spring forward. So do so now if you haven't set your clock back. But anyways, I have, and I'm telling you I'm liking it better because the sun is coming up early. And it's early this morning, so let's move on. And by the way, as I get going, I want to mention, and I also want to thank Sherry and Joe of Vancouver, Canada. They had messaged in and wanted to know more about, when we are in a defense mode against our goals and dreams, to explain what we're after to others, are we really acting from truth? And when I thought about that, I went, wow, is this deep or what? So when you are trying to defend your goals and objectives and what you're out to pursue in life, if you have to defend that to others, then you are not acting from truth. Now, Sherry had mentioned that she had read that in my first book of the series, The Master of Everything, A Story of Mankind in a World of Illusion We Call Life, and she wanted me to expand on that today. So, Sherry and Joe, thank you for your request, and I am going to get on that today. So, let's get more into why we need to not defend ourselves when we're out to achieving our goals and our dreams, and the best strategy for doing so. Excuse me. So I take a sip of my morning Maxwell House coffee. I just love it first thing in the morning. The aroma of coffee in the morning is just so wonderful, isn't it? It's heavenly to me. So why is achieving goals and dreams often so difficult? Well, it can be much easier and simpler, and let me explain. You gotta remember that you cannot have a belief in what you do not want alongside of a belief in what you do want. The two will battle each other. What you don't want, if you're believing that I don't want this and you keep focusing on what you don't want, but on the other hand, you're focusing on what you do want, what you don't want and what you do want are going to butt heads against each other, and you're never going to get anywhere. So what you do not want, you have to let go of and never allow it to enter your thought process. These two systems of belief and for achieving goals cannot coexist with each other if you are going to live the life of your dreams. And it's really this simple. If you continually search after what you do not truly want, you will always get more of that. Another sip of coffee, please. And it's why, in other words, what we focus on, we just get more of. So it's why it is highly suggested to regularly practice mindfulness meditation. And if you haven't learned how to do mindfulness meditation, I urge that you do. And by the way, if you're at my website right now listening to this podcast, because I've embedded it into an article, you will notice a woman sitting on the beach. It kind of looks like, it may look like a lake, and it says, learn the 7-minute mindfulness meditation. So I urge that you check that out if you want to know more about mindfulness meditation. And if you're at YouTube, the link to a blog article that what this podcast is about will get you to that, and you'll be able to see everywhere. And by the way, as I'm mentioning that too, wherever you're at listening to this, there are links that you can click on to join my mastermind community, to join the free version of my newsletter, to excel and join in and take advantage of systems and other products if you need be, books, videos, whatever you need to make your life just a lot better with whatever you're going through. So enough of that, and let's continue to go on. But now please bear in mind with me here, okay? And if you will consciously bring out what you do not want and face it up against achieving goals and what you do want, your undesirables will instantly turn into nothingness. Man alive, I hope that makes sense. Because if you face what you don't want and you actually tell it without judgment and with your inner strength, looking right at it, saying, I'm letting go of this thought, I'm letting go of you thought of what I don't want, because I don't want you. I don't want to focus on you anymore in my life. I'm letting you go, and watch it fade away into the nothingness that it came from. Anything that you truly do not want is not God's will, and certainly not your true free will, and certainly not your true goals and your true dreams. In my first book of the series that I'd mentioned, The Master of Everything, by the way, published by Ozark Mountain Publishing Company, a wonderful mainstream publisher that I have a great relationship with, and I'm so thrilled with this first book of the series, and book 2, called Mastering Your Own Spiritual Freedom, Lessons from A Course in Miracles, and then book 3, I'm so happy with, called And Then I Knew My Abundance. All 3 books, we're calling the 3 together as a package, the trilogy, and they're all 3 published by Ozark Mountain Publishing Company. So I hope that you will check that out. And if you're at my website, you'll clearly be able to see how to check that out. And if you're at YouTube listening to this, you will, in the description area down below, you will find a link to my website through a blog article that I'm recommending to you, and that will give you all the opportunity to check out my books. So consider when you close the blinds in your apartment, in your house, in your office, whatever, your office window, your bedroom window, whatever it is, consider when you close the blinds and shut the door to your home, so to speak. The light will not enter until someone opens the door. Correct? Just sitting there in the dark and waiting will not let the light to come shining through like it needs to. The sun is already shining. The light is always shining. Another sip of coffee. But you have the window shade pulled down, the blinds pulled down, the door shut, where the light can't penetrate. This is what you are doing when you remain in an undesirable situation. This is what you are doing when you remain thinking about what you do not want in life. This is what you do when you remain considering fear and doubt about your goals and dreams. So the truth does not struggle with ignorance, and love will not attack fear. You cannot defend yourself from fear. Okay, to answer your question, Sherry and Joe of Vancouver, no, you cannot defend the truth, because the truth does not struggle with ignorance, and love will not attack fear. You cannot defend yourself from fear, because fear is nothingness. Fear is the darkness. All you have to do is let the light of truth in, and fear fades away. You can try, but all you will succeed at will be gaining more fear, more grief, more loss, and not living to your true and full potential. Now, again, I'm going to share this wonderful spiritual metaphysical principle from the Course in Miracles. So Sherry and Joe of Vancouver, I hope this principle does the trick for you in answering that question. A Course in Miracles states, God does not know of defense. Therefore, truth does not need to be defended. Whatever your goals and dreams in life are, if you've got well-intended family members and friends but misinformed about your goals and dreams, but are trying to sway you in another directions or any other thing that you similar that you could come up with. If that is happening in your life and you are putting yourself in a position to defend your stance, all you're doing is focusing on what you do not want. You got to drop it. You got to drop the defense, like we can say a hot potato. Defense is not of your own making, and the Holy Spirit, which is your internal healer and guide, will use your defenses on behalf of the truth in achieving goals and dreams only because you made them. And these are the gifts of the Holy Spirit. What I mean when I say the gifts of the Holy Spirit, your internal healer will guide you, and he will use your defenses if you ask him to. When you're having trouble letting go of them, he will use the defenses and flip them around for you on behalf of truth in what you actually do want in this life for achieving your goals and dreams, because you made them. You created your goals and dreams, and the Holy Spirit is there for you to help you with the resources necessary to make your dreams come true. These are the gifts of the Holy Spirit. Now, the Holy Spirit, which is really within you, cannot be fooled. You cannot be insincere about a goal and objective that you really want, that you think you really want, but you know deep down you really don't want it. Now, the Holy Spirit will know that because the Holy Spirit is your deep down inner self. So drop the defenses, go to your inner self and say, yes, my dreams and my true goals are the Holy Spirit's as well. Course in Miracles explains the Holy Spirit as the Spirit of God, the light of God that we are of, which puts us at one with God. The Course in Miracles explains that the Holy Spirit is our link to God, which makes us at one with our Creator. So once again, defense is not of your own making, but it is of that ego-based mind in you that is based on fear and doubt, that feels it has to defend itself. So, but with this method, by asking the Holy Spirit to turn your defenses into truth, your defenses will see instantly that there is nothing to defend, and it just will be dropped. Based on his purpose for you, based on the Holy Spirit's purpose for you, which is your goals and dreams, he merely changes them into a call toward knowledge, which you will find not to be fearful at all. Now, again, like I always like to say, when I say the Holy Spirit, I may use a masculine overtone and call him a him or he. If you prefer, the Holy Spirit can be a she or her. You can use the female overtone if you want. It's just what I'm used to. In eternity, there is no such thing as masculine or female overtones. I only use he to represent the Holy Spirit with a capital H because that's what I'm used to. So feel free to use any name that you want. But once I approached, well, let me back up and say, first of all, I'm going to repeat what I just said because I think it's important. Based on his purpose now for you, which is your goals and dreams, he merely changes them into a call toward knowledge, which you will find not to be doubting or fearful at all. Back in high school, when I anxiously and fearfully wanted to ask a cute little redheaded girl to the senior prom, I came up with all kinds of reasons why she would probably say no to me. Of course, as kids, that's natural for us, isn't it? High school. But when you ask, but let me back up and say, but once I approached her, nervously, of course, once I approached her and she said that she would love to go to the dance with me, I immediately found that the fear was gone. You may chuckle at that story, and I'm sure you can align that with some of your own stories in your own life. But when you ask the Holy Spirit When you ask the Holy Spirit to the dance, so to speak, he will always say yes. You know, in book 2 of the series called Mastering Your Own Spiritual Freedom, I hold your hand as we discover, as knowledge shows us there is nothing to fear in achieving goals, you know, our knowledge then increases at the same time that our defenses dissipate. Now, knowledge is not the same as perception. You know, we have some perceptions first, but then perception still has a little tad of judgment in it. But and defense too. So when that's all dropped, all that's left is knowledge. And knowledge can only come from your innermost depths, where it's a place where you know you do not have to defend yourself. Therefore, ask the Holy Spirit, using your own words that are comfortable for you, to open the door and lift the blinds, to lift the window shade, for the light to shine through, so that you may achieve your objectives and goals, so that you may achieve your goals and dreams while you live in this world. A Course in Miracles asks us to share with him your fears by bringing all hidden secrets to the table about your goals and dreams. Yes, lay them all on the table from your heart and say, this is what I need. This is what I'm going after. I'm lacking the resources. I feel I'm lacking them, but I can't. But you know, you're really not lacking the resources at all. They're really within you, because that's the Holy Spirit. Lay everything on the table. I need help to get this accomplished. It will be done. So I'm going to share that again with you. A Course in Miracles asks us to share with him your fears by bringing all hidden secrets to the table about your goals and dreams. You must join and look at your fears along with him, because he will bring these fears and secrets to face the real and true you. Another sip of coffee, please. It's how many successful individuals on the planet think. It's how many highly effective people everywhere operate and think. Within an instant, they will be undone, and you will be achieving your goals and dreams. Joining with him, the Holy Spirit, in seeing is the way in which you learn to share with him all of your interpretations that will lead you to knowledge, which is beyond perception. You cannot shift over to knowledge on your own. No, you can't. And here's why. Because sharing your true perceptions with him, whom God has given you, teaches you how to recognize what you see. And friends, this is where you begin experiencing everyday miracles in your life, like I have done. Seeing the gifts, seeing these gifts, these presents, these gifts of the Holy Spirit is not to be considered double vision, but merely the gentle fusing together of everything into one meaning, into one emotion, and one purpose, and achieving goals that are of the truth in you. Joe and Sherry, once again, I apologize because I have another member named Josephine. Joe and Sherry, let me say that your creator, however you want to term it, I use God because that's more comfortable for me. Your creator has one purpose, which he shares with you. The single vision that the Holy Spirit offers you will bring this oneness to your mind with so much clarity that it's just blissful, and into your life for the world to accept. Therefore, whatever your goals and objectives are, Sherry and Joe, you do not have to put yourself in a position where you are defending your goals and dreams. Drop the defense and move on with the single vision that the Holy Spirit offers, because it is the one purpose of your creator that you bring this oneness to your mind with utmost clarity. Lift the window shade. Let the light shine on your goals and dreams. And then your life will go forward with the happiness and success that you're looking for, and the world will naturally accept that. Therefore, you got there without being defensive. Does that make sense? I sure hope so, because it thrills me to even talk about it. Even though I wrote this, it thrills me to talk about this, and it thrills me to have these Sunday morning podcasts, because I just love sharing my heart. By the way, as I close, please keep in mind that I urge you to join my newsletter list if you're not already a subscriber to my free version of the newsletter. And when you are ready, I have a subscription-only version which is called my Mastermind community. It's the Mastermind Newsletter group, where what we do is, you the reader and I the author, but together mutually we bring our mind together for self-success and share our problems and bring them forth and get over them and make a better world for ourselves. I hope you'll join me there. Also, too, I had mentioned a little bit earlier, you'll notice that if you're at my website, I recommend other authors, psychologists, marriage counselors, life coaches, you name it, for helping you with problems you may have in your life to achieve your goals and objectives. And because if you read all of my books, by the way, book 4 of the series is being edited right now as I speak to you, and I can't wait till that book comes out. I'm just so excited about this whole process. But if you would, and I got all the way up for now, we're going with up to about 16 books that are going to be out soon. Well, in the months ahead, in years ahead. But if you would read all of my content, I can't be an expert on everything for you. So that's why I recommend other experts that can give you the advice and lead you in a direction that I'm not capable of. And somewhere these other experts are recommending my work to the people that they know. And that's how the universe works. It's all about giving and receiving. Also, too, please keep in mind that if you want to know more about how to live the life that you want and truly want, please check into my Everyday Miracles videos daily, Monday through Friday, that I do on YouTube. I would love to have you as a subscriber at YouTube. And before I go now, let me say one thing, that I'm so glad that you listened to me this morning. I'm so glad that you listened to me this far, because that really means that you have goals and objectives and dreams that you're wanting to achieve. And there might be some little thing tying you down or holding you back, or a wall or a barrier that you're up against. And if you can't go over the wall, what successful people do is they just go around it. So with that said, I wish the best for you in life, in love, all the success that the universe within you, not outside of you, all the success the universe has in store for you. Until next time, God bless. James Nussbaumer, signing off.